Okay guys, I hope you can hear me okay. I want to catch you up a little bit on what happened with the motorhome. So we got out to the campsite and everything was fine. We set up that night and we kind of ate what we had, but we kind of chilled out by the campsite, and then it started pouring down rain, so we had to pack up everything and go inside. So we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time outside, which I really wanted to do. It didn't work out like that. But other than that, everything was fine. When we got inside the camper, it was so late, so dark, and it was so quiet out at the campground. We just decided to just go ahead and go to sleep. So we set up the beds and everything, and we went to sleep. We could not use the generator at the park, so it was super hot out there. We couldn't really open the windows a lot because it was raining like it was pouring. We kind of struggled that night, and it was kind of depressing, but not. It was fun because we made it fun, but it didn't work out exactly like I wanted it to. But that was fine. The next night we got up the next day and we moved out of the campsite so that we can use the generator while we cook outside. So we did some cooking outside, and we had a really good time out there, but there was nowhere to stay that night. And by that time, we were all exhausted. All of my good intentions on the camping, we needed a break. We came over to Toscana Valley, which, guys, Toscana Valley is amazing. It was the most beautiful place. We stayed at Toscana La Piazza for a night or two. We were only gonna stay there for one night and then go back out to camp. But when we were leaving Kauai National Park, Charles noticed that the brakes were acting kind of funny, and we were coming down out of the mountain, and he told me later on that he was a bit nervous, and it takes a lot for my husband to get nervous like that when he's driving. But at some points he felt like he was not going to be able to stop. So immediately when he told me that, I texted the lady that we rented from and told her what was going on, and she tried to get someone to come out and look at it, but they never showed up. So she had her team from Bangkok drive all the way out here to Kauai. So unfortunately we had some issues with the brake with the motorhome, and we had to call into the company down in Bangkok, and they sent these guys up here to take a look at it, and they are working on it. If they cannot get it fixed, they bought another one for us to switch out to. So hopefully that's not the case, because the one I picked out is the one I wanted. It has leather seats in it. That one has cloth seats in the back. Didn't really want that one, so we'll see. You know, some of the problems that we have. Yeah. Some things that can go wrong on the road, but at least she did send a crew out here to work on it. That's what we're doing now.
New adventures. You gotta love it.
And they tried to fix it, but once they got out here, they told us that I think the ball bearings or something like that. Charles knows better, but he's in a shower right now because we're in a hotel. But it was dangerous to drive, so the brakes were going out. The bearings were shot. You know, long story short, we could have died on that mountain. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but I don't think so. They told us it was extremely dangerous to drive. Now, before we left and rented this thing, we asked them about everything. You know, they said the brakes are good, everything's good, and it was frustrating because I think that these campers have sat all through COVID for 3 years or whatever, and they did no maintenance on them. So like I said, I planned this trip about a month ago. I did my due diligence and I did my homework to make sure everything was good, and they assured me that it was not. When they came up from Bangkok and we noticed that they were in a whole nother camper, we pretty much knew that they wanted us to switch campers. I did not want to switch campers because the camper that I picked, I know this sounds like a little brat, but one of the campers had cloth seats and it had just an odor in it, you know, as cloth seats tend to do. I didn't want that one, so I picked the one with the leather seats. It was nice and clean in there. So when they came up with the other camper, they immediately wanted to switch out campers. And I told them that the lady that owns the company said that they would be coming to fix it. Once they realized so much was wrong with that camper, we ended up having to switch. But they were able to switch out all the seats. They were able to switch out all the seats and put the leather seats because it's only Velcroed in anyway. So they switched out all the seats for us, gave us a new camper. But by the time they did that, again, guys, we were exhausted. So the camping trip we put that off and we found a place called Toscana Valley. Now, I love a good hotel and Toscana Valley did not disappoint. We stayed at the Piazza that one night and we fell in love with that place. Well, inside, there's a whole village out here. And so now, actually back up a little bit. We ended up renting a villa. We rented this villa, which was Villa 79 here in Kauai. The villa was beautiful. The host was amazing. I'm not really an outdoorsy nature person, so the villa didn't work out for me. But we did stay there for 2 nights, but then there were lizards. And yes, I know I'm in Thailand, there are lizards everywhere. I get that, but I don't want to sleep with them. So we had a couple of lizards inside the villa that I could not get rid of, get them out, and that wasn't for me. So we ended up coming back out to Toscana Valley, and we're out here now in Toscana Village. And I'm telling you, this room is amazing. If you haven't been up to Toscana Valley and stayed here, that's something you might want to consider because it kind of takes you out of the mind frame of Thailand, which I love Thailand, but this is like being in Italy. And I'm not kidding. It's beautiful. The restaurants are really nice. And I'm going to tell you, the restaurants up here in Kauai are amazing. They have some really good restaurants here in Kauai. We went to a winery, so you'll see all of that stuff. But I just wanted to catch you up a little bit on what's going on with us because, yeah, the camping thing didn't work out like I planned. We still had fun in the motorhome, but I really wanted to be able to stay out in the park, which we could have, but we chose to get the smaller one because we thought it would be easier to maneuver it up the mountain, which it was. So I'm glad we did not get the big one. But the smaller one, you know, you give up the space. There's 4 of us, and that was a little tight. It was a little tight. But anyway, we are enjoying this trip. Kauai has really opened my eyes to a different part of Thailand. And there, you know, it's not the beach. We've done all the beaches and everything, and we love the beaches, but I tell you what, Kauai probably is #1 on my list right now. This place is beautiful. I really, really love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching the videos here of our experience in Kauai. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. I do want to add that Camper Van Thailand is a good quality company. The only thing is that I think the campers have sat so long and nobody rented them. You know, of course, nobody was doing anything like that during COVID or even before, I don't know. But the owner of the company, she was on top of everything. If I text her, she was right on top of everything. She was very helpful. We do appreciate, you know, her being there for us when we had a problem with the camper, having her crew come up at short notice like that. They were there within 3 hours. That was a good thing that she was there for us when we needed her. No hesitation whatsoever. So I would not say that anything is wrong with the company at all. It's just that that camper that we chose had some problems that could have been fixed, but just not in the time frame that we needed it. So they did deliver a new camper, that camper from the rest of the time on has been fine with us, and we've enjoyed it. All in all, I do recommend Campervan Thailand. Give those guys a call. It's a lady owner, Kun Oh, and she is amazing. It's an excellent idea to do something like that. We had no problems getting anywhere in Thailand with this camper. If it's just a couple of people, the small one is perfect. Give them a call.